Hello everyone, Elwa here with Apollo Scooter, and I'm joined by.
Huda, CX team lead.
Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
And Chris,
Hi
welcome
guys. Sorry,
aboard.
a little bit of technical issues. How are you guys doing?
Great. What about you?
Good, thank you. Welcome, Huda, to the Scoot Fridays.
Thank you.
First
I'm
guest
excited to
appearance.
be part of this.
Cool. Okay, guys. So I guess today we're going to be going through a few topics such as the Apollo Pro Indiegogo campaign, which finishes today. But there's a little bit of news as well on that one. A bit of the Design in Canada features with Elwa as well, and what 10,000 kilometers on this means. Was there anything else you guys wanted to touch on in this before we also jump to comments as well after?
Yes.
No.
No. There's
Cool.
some question we got, but we can look at them.
Nice. First of all, Huda, do you want to just give a little bit of intro? Who are you? What do you do at Apollo?
Yeah, absolutely. So as mentioned, I am CX team lead, so we overlook the entire customer experience department, make sure we answer your questions right away and answer your phone calls. And if anyone has any questions here, feel free to drop them on the comments bar and I'll do my best.
Nice. Thanks, Huda. That's great. I'm really happy to have you on this. Cool. Okay, so we're getting a lot of questions already. So we'll start off with just a bit of the Indiegogo campaign. So today is the final day, and we've sold 213 units, which is huge. That's an absolutely incredible achievement. And it's still going up. I think we sold 13 in the last 24 hours. So this is really, really good. Huge results for us. Yeah, I mean, what did you guys take away from the campaign a little bit, Elwa and Huda? What were your expectations? Like, what are we seeing a bit from customers, and how do you feel about the campaign overall?
On my side, it was nice. It was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be to put the campaign together for my team, for all the renders or even like the design of the page. There's so much work that goes into it. But it's nice because after that, all those assets can be reused on the website. It's not lost, but it's definitely more challenging than I initially thought. I think for all of us to do one of those campaigns. I think the amount that we sold was it's great. We're at 212 right now. Last time I checked, that's I think our 213 now. It's the most I think successful launch we've had so far. So pretty happy about that. And well, that scooter is super expensive too, with a lot of new technology. So it wasn't really clear for us how people were going to receive it. But I think by doing the Pro Beta group, by posting all the videos we did on YouTube about the development of that scooter, it reassured a lot of people, and that's why it's a success now. So overall, really happy about it. And people that started receiving the beta ones, they also love it. So it's like accumulation of a lot of things coming together at the same time, which is it's nice to see.
Yeah. Nice. And Huda, what are you seeing a bit? I mean, you get to talk to a lot of the customers going, through their first purchase experience. What questions are they asking? Who are you seeing purchase this Apollo Pro? And just if you can share a little bit of the excitement and, just how they're reacting.
Yeah, absolutely. So I agree with everything Elwa said. Of course, we surpassed our goal, which is extremely exciting. A lot of the customers are excited to receive, a hyper scooter, something that we haven't, provided before. So they're excited to use all of our new technology with IoT, with the GPS tracking. That's really exciting to see. As far as a lot of the questions that we're receiving, most of them are super happy to have more direct channels of communication, like from Indiegogo directly to our CX team. So we've had Adam on top of that, specifically with our phone line as well. And yeah, it's just been great. It's been consistent. So yeah, all's good on this end.
Nice. That's great. And yeah, I mean, again, on my side, I think it's just incredible to see the reactions of on wholesalers, customers. And it's not the customers you'd expect buying a scooter, to be honest. Like a lot of the people who are buying it are commuting or doing food delivery or just want to ride. I love the diversity it brings in terms of the customer needs. And it's, we thought it was going to be like a high luxury scooter that people get mostly for fun, but the amount of people who are replacing their car, using this for commuting and all this stuff is really cool. So really excited on that one. So jumping into, I guess, to test it in Canada, 10,000 kilometer testing means. Edouard, do you want to go through a bit of what components these are, how those tests have been performed? And I know there's videos and all on YouTube, but do you just share a bit more about what this test means and why it's unique to the Pro out of our whole lineup?
Yeah, so right now we are trying to test the whole lineup for 10,000 kilometers, or at least all the new ones. What does it mean is we we sit with the engineering team and we build a table of like, okay, in 10,000 kilometers, the kickstand is going to be open and closed, I don't know, 1,000 times. The charging port is going to be plug and unplug 2,000 times. Like we build a chart for every component like this. And then in our factory in China, we have a testing machine that's going to test exactly that, like the video we posted on YouTube showing all those testing rigs. So we are doing by component, but also the whole scooter itself. We leave it on a rig for 10,000 kilometers. And there's we just purchased a new one which keeps breaking all our scooters because it's too intense. But basically, you put the scooter on the rig. We put 240 kilos on it, and there's like there's bump every there's 2 bump every turn of a wheel, which is, I don't know, maybe 1,000, 2,000 bump per kilometer, something like that. I should count, but that's how we test it. So it's by component. It's the frame itself with the suspension working all together. And the goal is for the scooter not to crack after 10,000 kilometers. And that's how we can offer the warranty that we have now for the 10,000 kilometer tested. And it's the same thing for battery. We're going to charge them, discharge them for, I think it's 500 cycle that represent 10,000 kilometers, something like that. But anyway, we have a whole table built, and we can share it with people if they're interested in knowing how we test our things. Yeah, and well, the designed in Canada, that's just our team designing all our scooters. And why it matters, like the video we posted, is because, well, we listen to customers like we're doing now, like all the comments and the feedback here, all the comments in the comment section, all the feedback in the videos, and we can change the design compared to manufacturers that are in China. Well, they never do this. They develop a model from what they think it's a good spec. They don't show their iteration process as well. And you end up with a scooter that is just like how they wanted it, compared to with Apollo. Well, you end up with a scooter that you wanted, meaning the customer, because we listen to the feedback and do those modifications during the making process.
Yeah, no, I love that. And just add on, I think understand obviously the value of why design in Canada is there. But again, like you said, the biggest one is insights. So like insights, understanding, again, we have access to what have we hit already, like 1 point something million kilometers ridden on our scooters, which is huge, right? So you see how customers are riding those scooters, what they're using it for. Sorry, how much?
1.5, yes.
1.5.
1.5,
yeah, which is fantastic. So the insights is big. And then it goes to the whole concepts and prototype phase, which Alwan and the team spend a lot of time on, and they absolutely kill. And it's like you always, like right now we're going through the light process, for example, and it's one of those things where we're like, we need it to fit in this box, we need it to be this, we need it to be lighter, we need it to be faster. Like there's a lot of demands, and Alwan is their team, very patiently sometimes find a way to make this happen, which is amazing. But then it's a testing, it's FEA analysis, it's a rig testing, and then the beta testing. And for those who are unaware of the new process that we do, especially with the Pro, is all the products that we launch now, it's like we're going to show you the product before we even launch on the market, get the feedback from customers. Then we do a few iterations on YouTube, and that's how it's going to happen with the Apollo, the new Apollo lights, or named to be determined. And then once we do the 6 iterations, we get all the feedback. We do a beta testing program to make sure the products handle well, and then it goes to market. So a good 1.5-2 year process, and that's again why design in Canada matters. It's a quality, it's insights, and it's making sure that we listen to the customers and get you a product that you need. So yeah, that's really good. Thanks for sharing a little bit more on that. We're going to jump to questions a little bit, because I know there's a lot of questions already, which is great. And this is going to go quite fast. So first of all, Jeffrey, so hi guys, received my son's new City 2023 scooter. My son is scootering again and loves it. I emailed support a few days ago to send back this other scooter, but no one's replied. Please send me the address to the City 2022 Pro. Keep it up, great work. Jeffrey, I believe one of your cases, when you do send an email, please wait for the team to get back to you, because if you follow up on email within 24 hours, it goes back to the back of the queue. I know that's I guess one of the flaws. Huda, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add on to that, but so some of the flaws with the customer service system we use. But we are aware, and the team will get back to you shortly. Okay, Steve, good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm very curious about something. Since July 31st, I have had my Pro Beta replaced twice. Will I be penalized if I continue to have issues and not manage to be able to put the 500 kilometers on the scooter? Definitely not, Steve. That's things that come out not based on your fault. So just talk to the team on the support team, and they'll get a solution for you. We do apologize, and we're taking these. Making sure the feedback's incorporated. So we hope to get you back on your scooter ASAP. Hi, Justin. Hi, Uncle Bud. Jeffrey, again, please, like we just mentioned, that's all good. Dave, I've now learned that my Phantom V3 upgrade throttles are off the shelf and not your most recent as seen on the City Pro 2023. Can I get them for my Phantom?
I'm looking into putting the same connectors. So for now, I'm going to say no, but it's something we are looking at with the factory right now. The difference is the connector and the communication protocol. So we are looking into it. So probably in the future, but as of right now, no.
Cool. Perfect. Justin Ma, yes, I am one of those last minute buyers. Great, Justin. Thank you so much for your support. That's great. Mike, will there be other tester programs for the Pro or other models in the future? Yes, definitely, Mike. There's going to be a tester program for the lights, the new lights, which, just for this context, I see there's another question here asking about upgrades, new details. We'll go questions, and then we'll revert back onto the lights, because I think a lot of the conversations and comments on that. So we can give you a bit of an update with Alwad just after all these questions. That'll be great. Okay, Jessica Ran, hello to the Apollo crew. The only question I have is Apollo working on making any power banks for the Apollo lineup that could at least add a couple of kilometers in case of emergency?
No, and that's what we're trying to do with the app, is to give you really a range estimate that is pretty precise, so you know what to expect. I think for the Apollo Explorer, for example, where you have swappable battery, that would probably be a good scooter for you if you just want to put a fresh battery in your scooter while you're mid-ride. But for now, no power bank, because it would be too big to charge your scooter. Like, you might as well just buy another battery for it. And the charging time is quite long as well, right? So you have a power bank, and then it's easier to just carry, I think, a charger and try to find an outlet than trying to carry a whole battery separately in your backpack. Yeah,
and there are a lot of battery packs on Amazon, and there's really good companies that make big ones as well if you want, and if you have the capacity to bring it. We just specialize in scooters, not on battery packs. But it's a cool idea. I like the idea of adding an extra 5-kilometer boost, like a Red Bull, SP would like to give much thanks to everyone on the Polo. As you know, UPS lost my scooter and could not locate it, but thanks to your Polo, perfect. Thank SP, very happy that you managed to do it. Also, shout out to Nadim for being on Reddit and reaching out to me. That's great. Yeah, Nadim is killing it on Reddit, and it's just another voice to help our customers, because sometimes it doesn't go through the support lines. What's next for the Polo Air, Angelo? So we'll go back to this at the end of the questions. I think there's quite a bit of updates that Elwha can provide, which will be great. Pro LOT, a new app version update, please.
So we are getting the internal release. Internal meaning it's for our employee to test. Today for iOS, I got it for Android yesterday, and it's great. It's all working fine. So we're gonna test over the weekend, and Monday we should be good to push it publicly. And again, it's what I showed last week. But for the survey and the tracking of the mileage, it's all working well. So that's all done. It's really the IoT on the iOS that we are figuring out today. But yeah, it's all on track. So if everything goes well, by Monday you're going to be receiving a link to install it.
Perfect. And if you haven't seen, based on last week in the show, Elwha showed the whole IoT look, and it's really, really nice. So if you haven't seen it, you can just jump back on that video. So Justin, since the beta riders have been riding for a while now, do you foresee any differences between the beta V6 versus the final product of the Pro?
It's going to be assembly. So a couple of things in the assembly that we're going to do differently. Greasing certain component, adding a spacer there and there. But in the function of the scooter, and that's going to remain the same. And I'm going to be doing a couple firmware update, plus changing something in the IoT, but the hardware itself all going to stay the same. And so far, that's pretty good.
Perfect. Cool. Naistra, hello. Can you ride a City 23 during winter in Montreal? Not right after a snowstorm, of course, but when the snow has been plowed. And do you recommend additional maintenance to avoid rust? So I mean, riding. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say the problem is the salt on the road. It's not necessarily the water or the snow or the cold if you store it inside, obviously. It's all the salt going to get into your bearing and really destroy everything. So ideally, no. But just technically wise, like waterproofness, you could.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, Montreal is incredible in terms of snow plowing. They do bike lanes before they do roads, which is great. But again, speaking from experience, when there's sort of like black ice and things that you can't see, it gets quite dangerous as well. I've had my fair share full, so you can, but like Elwa said, just clean up the surface every time you ride, because otherwise that's going to completely erode your whole deck, which is not great. And then Smooth, I've been riding my Pro Ludo for 3 years, but would love a better app than the VSC one. Any ideas?
Download the Stormcore app. Stormcore. That's a better app than VSC. And I'm glad you like your Ludo, the original one. It was good indeed.
OG. Mike, any plans for scooter with small 14 to 16-inch bike tires? Would be on powered bikes in terms of tackling potholes and sidewalks?
No, for scooter, the biggest we're going to do is 12. If we do something bigger than that, it's going to be a bike. But we're not looking to do like a 15. I know there's a dual trans city, for example. But no, even the Pro is already hard as it is to ship with the size of tire it has. So there's no way.
The Trail Snail, love the name. UPS delivering my Beta Pro today. Should I hold off on riding it until I get the bushings?
No, you can ride it. Maybe just don't do crazy stunt with it. But no, you can ride it. It's safe. It's going to be even better with the bushings. But no, go for it.
Because the main thing is that it wears out quicker, but it's still safe at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Cool. Dean at Elwa, why not adopt the under the base heatsink for cooling the controllers? A lot of e-skates have adopted this design for better cooling.
That's what we have. That's what we have. So instead of having the heatsink, we have the controller sticking out, literally. And before we had a heatsink, we were testing on the Pro, and it's better to have the controller outside by far. Maybe the question is why we don't do it on all the models. It's because the structure of all the models are different. For the City, all the electronics are in the middle box, and then you have a plastic box sealing everything. So we couldn't have the controller sticking out of both. But for the Pro, the Phantom, maybe the Explorer, those they are sticking out. And some models that just don't require the controller to stick out. Like the City, it's a good example, or the Air. It's not overheating at all. But for the Pro, since it's like a 30M controller, we needed to do it. That's why it's not on all.
Austin, love my new City. I just ordered a headlamp and scooter bag. I can't wait to put them on. That's great to hear, Austin. Thanks for the feedback. Kaz, I pre-ordered the 2023 Phantom. I'm in the Eastern US. Do you have a definite shipping date? I'm not too sure what the update is. Huda, do you know by any chance?
No, but I'll take your name down and I'll reach out to you once I look into your profile. Let me just look into that.
Excellent, thank you. Because I think it still was mid-August. What was the last update? But again, Kaz, it's all dependent on customs and releasing and duties, and there's been a bit of issues at ports, but it should be soon. So thank you for your patience, and Huda will get back to you. That'd be great. Jeffrey, thank you. I look forward to wrapping this up. We have an Apollo V2 and a City 2023, and soon to come an Apollo Pro. We will be the envy of everyone here in Bahamas. Wow, that's great. if you know any scooter stores looking to buy scooters and a distributor in Bahamas, please let me know, Jeffrey. I'll gladly make the trip over to, business trip over. Brian, with the variable reach and brake pedal, which braking approach is best, rapid braking or smooth? My guess is smooth to avoid excess heat, but I want to ask the techies.
They are both okay. The worst thing you can do is when you have a very, very long downhill and you just keep the regen like the whole time, like slowly. That's going to really build up the heat tremendously. But for like a short braking, you can do hard or not hard. It's fine. The temperature won't really be affected. It's really, when people go downhill for a long, long time, now it's starting to build up. So I would say if you go downhill like this, just go free and at the end slam the brake. That's going to be better.
And Justin, how does a Polo lock compare to something like a U-lock or like a Kryptonite NY lock in terms of being cut?
Well, a U-lock and even the Kryptonite, they are much thicker, right? Like they're like that thick, and we haven't been making lock for 50 years, so we don't have that expertise yet. But we did choose a really famous factory manufacturer to do it with us. So it's definitely a bit smaller, the diameter, but that's why we added like a thick rubber casing, and inside there's tissue as well. So when you have cutters, it's actually quite hard to cut. And the last thing is that a U-lock or the Kryptonite lock doesn't retract on itself, which ours does. And you need some flexibility and the diameter a bit smaller to do this. So I think it's a lot more convenient than those two locks. A U-lock, you can't lock anything with it because you need like the suspension arm. It's just complicated. Kryptonite a bit more, but our lock, the advantage, it's ready to be convenient. It's solid. It matches well with the scooter as well, and you don't have to ever worry about carrying it with you in your backpack or having the keys. It's all integrated on your stem and sitting there. So I think we're going to get to the point, hopefully, of the Kryptonite. But for now, I would say it's a bit less extreme. It's a gentleman locks.
Yeah, and again, Justin, like even Kryptonite or U-lock, if you have a proper, like if you put this in the middle of a city overnight, like there's people who can cut through everything. I would really be careful, like leaving your scooter overnight or different things like this. Like the whole point of the lock is to be convenient at grocery stores or like just small things like that. I would still take a lot of precaution, especially with like an Apollo Pro and everything. If they want to cut it, they'll find a way to cut it. So just important to keep that in mind. How far along are you with the Explore, Garrett?
Second samples are being made now. Going to receive it middle of September, and then we're going to decide what we do with it. If we do other sample, if we're ready to flip it a program. But you, community, can expect to see more details towards the end of the month of September.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Gio. My Apollo Pro 52-volt battery died last week. Is there a recycling program where I could return this battery, and where could I purchase a new battery? That's a great question. I don't think we have a recycling program, but I mean, we know in the warehouse we were able to fix a lot of the batteries. I don't know if we're still doing that, but
well, we still would return. We don't fix batteries, but we have a company taking care of them. So if you want to ship it back to us, or if you're in Montreal, you can drop it at our warehouse. And for a new battery, I believe we still have some for the Pro. Worst come to worst, it would be like a Ghost battery that you have less capacity. It's 18Ah instead of 23Ah, but it would also be cheaper. But I'm pretty sure we still have some batteries for the Pro.
Cool. Lucas, sorry, I may have missed it. Any shipping date changes? Everything should be by email. On latest, there's been no new updates. So just keep an eye on your email, your spam folders, etc. Sometimes it goes into promotions, etc. Just keep an eye on that. Benjamin, Jeffrey's son, Apollo Light still happening. It is. We'll just finish these questions super quick and then jump on the Apollo Light as a recap again. Thanks, Benjamin. Will the Apollo Pro have a chance to get a bigger battery in the future, and will it have the option to have fast charge to charge the battery in less time?
Bigger battery? No. It wouldn't fit. For fast charging, we could do a bit faster, but right now the charger is 4 amp hour. 4 amp. The maximum capacity for this charging port is 5, so you could be a bit faster, but there's already a fast charger coming with the scooter from out of the box. So I'd say, maybe it could be 25% faster, but we won't do something that is like twice as fast or something like that. So.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Sorry, there's a lot of questions here. Keeps going. Okay, we're going to stop picking some questions because we have 5 minutes left. I'm really sorry. Okay, so JC Reviews, I'm sorry we didn't get back to you. Like I know Rajan checked and we can see your name. Can you please just write an email to Rajan, our social media coordinator, ryjan@apolloscooters.co, and he'll be in touch with you. Smart tags, AirTags, not really, Dean. It's again, we can't really compete against Apple on those, but we have IoT in the Pro, which is even way better than that. It's going to be much more integrated. Phantom delivery, we've gone through. Just what is Phantom V3? So why does a Phantom V3 not have the self-heating tires, and will it be possible to change out later?
It's just a hardware limitation with the partners that we have, I guess. For now, no, it's not. You cannot change it because you need a whole new motor with that doesn't have a split ring. So no, unfortunately, for now, the Phantom's going to stay as it is. We're always trying to put better inner tubes inside to prevent flats, but it's not going to be self-healing like the rest of the lineup, unfortunately.
Perfect. And 2 big shout outs here, which is really nice. Apollo, pat yourself on the back for putting an IoT on my lost Apollo Pro scooter when UPS couldn't locate it. You geniuses. I love that. I think that's exactly the whole purpose of IoT. So, and Elwa and the team, we're tracking that down, which is amazing. Perfect. Okay, so and the last one, I guess, here is MN Smooth. Any US dealers coming would be great to not be hit with Canada shipping times. US is Best Buy, as we said, we're starting to sell in Best Buys as of September, October this year. So they'll be in all the Sunbelt states, which is huge. So you can literally just go pick up an Apollo anytime. That's going to be really fun in the next 2 months. And let's jump. Okay, we have 3 minutes. Ella, should we just do a quick recap on the Apollo lights again? What the specs are and what the next steps are for the people here. There's a lot of questions about it.
And quickly, Michael, thank you for putting already 400 kilometers on the Pro. I hope it's going well. And Austin, yes, you can mount the phone landscape, and you can see the display on the phone, but your app's going to be like this. It's not adapted yet. And Chris, maybe at the end you can repeat Rajan's email for GC because he needs. So for the Apollo Light, it's coming out next Friday. The V1 walkthrough. From the V1 to the V2, there was major change. It's the biggest change I think we've made in all those prototypes compared to the Pro and the Explorer. So that's going to be very exciting, and so far it's going really well. We are finalizing all the little details now. Like the frame is fine, everything is fine about it. I'm just trying to cut weight on it, so we are optimizing the 3D file. And once this is done, we're going to be ready to probably proceed with the beta testers. We're going to try to do it a bit differently, I think, this time, because that was also a lot of work to manage those groups. There's so much work that goes into it. So maybe we're going to reach out to the Pro beta because they're already going to be familiar with it. But no, so far it's going really well. I'm really excited for people to see the V1, even more the V2, and for them to share the feedback about it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Elwa. And that's it. So the next video is going to be launched, I believe, next Friday. And again, any cool ideas of the name, we'll be taking feedbacks on the name as well, and be going through the specs. I think this is the future of the commuter scooter, and it's going to be incredible. Cool. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much again for joining. Elwa and Huda, really appreciate it. Again, if anybody has any questions, comments, or feedback on the show, please let us know. We're always here and willing to help and trying to add more value to this weekly. So please keep in mind the Apollo Pro pre-order ends today at midnight on Indiegogo. So quick. It's your last chance. Otherwise, it's going to be next year, I believe, the next delivery. And then what was the last thing was, Apollo Light's going to be launched next week. So
the giveaway. That?
Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you so much. Okay, Elwa, do you want to give the...
Yes.
You guys want to...
This week's winner for the Apollo Air 2021 fantastic scooter is Ryan Hurdley at $396. It's actually an Apollo Air 2022, so even better. And if you want, you can be able to update it to the 23 with our kit. Bravo.
Congratulations, Ryan. And again, even the comments, I just want to shout out, everyone's saying shout out to Huda. So Huda, again, thanks for smashing it with all the help with the customers. I can see the appreciation here, which is amazing. Cool, everyone. Well, have a lovely weekend, and thanks for tuning in. And yeah, happy Friday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.